Hi everybody, this is Rick in the studio. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Rick Surowicz Watercolor. At any time, if you wish to subscribe to my channel, you can click on the link that appears in the lower right hand corner. I'll be doing a holiday card series again this year. This will be the 5th year in a row that I've done this. This will be my 2024 holiday card series. And with each card that I do, there'll be a short video, access to a template, and also a reference photo of the card. These are all intended to be very simple cards that you can paint on your own. And to access the links for the reference material, the template, and the video, just click on the link that appears in the video description. So I hope you have a happy holiday and I hope you enjoy painting these cards. Okay, we're ready to begin working on this Christmas card. And this is the template for the card. It's 5x7 for 5x7 inches. And you can just do on watercolor paper, or you can buy the blank cards that are watercolor paper that you can paint on. And it's a pretty simple template. It has the snowdrifts, has a tree line back here, and I just put a line for some larger trees that I'll put in with my brush. And you can transfer this template a number of ways to your watercolor paper. The link in the description of the video will take you to my website where you'll find all the links for the templates and any reference material for the videos. And so what I want to do on this card is I want it to be a snowy day, so I'm going to take a jar of masking fluid and a toothbrush, and you can squeeze it out of a bottle or dip it in a jar like I am. But I'm going to, I put a little bit on there and I rub off the excess. And I want this to be a pretty snowy day, so I'm going to go fairly heavy with this. I take the bristles and I pull them back. It gives me a fine spray. And then when I start tapping it on hard on my hand, it produces larger drops. So I'm going to dip it again and go for my snowy day. And if any of the drops are too big, what you do is you let this dry. And once it's dry, if there's any you don't like, you can just remove them before you begin to paint. So now I'm going to let that air dry, and then I'll begin to paint. Okay, so the masking fluid's dry, and there's a few big drops here, but I'm going to leave those alone. I'm going to go ahead and start painting. I'm going to start with a little bit of royal blue. It's a color I use a lot. You can use any, really any color you want. You could use any dark blue or something else, whatever you want. You could use like a blue violet or something. And make sure I get enough moisture in my brush. All right, and I'm just gonna take some clear water now and I'm gonna lead that wash down and let it just gradate to just a light value. I want it to be a lighter sky here to contrast the tree line that I'm gonna put in here. Now I'm gonna put this tree line in here. I could do this when it's wet and create a softer edge, but I'm gonna dry this first. And then I'll put that tree line in. But while I'm working with this color, I'm going to work in an area away from that, so it's not going to affect anything. If I started to paint this now, I'd get a soft, fuzzy edge, which isn't really what I want for this one. So I'm going to take the opportunity here to paint some of these other areas that aren't touching the edge. So I'll put that royal blue in and take some clear water and just soften that. If I want, I can take some moisture out of my brush and just pick up a little bit just to give me a softer edge. I want to pick up this excess moisture right here so I don't get a backwash. And then I'm going to continue this over here. All right, now get a little bit more pigment in that. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. All right, clean up my edges here so I don't blow any of these beads of water into my my painting when I dry it. And actually, I think, yeah, I'll hold off on the tree. Yeah, hold off there. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to dry this. I'm going to start to paint in the tree line, and I'll paint some trees that are in front of it. Okay, that's dry. I'm going to take this quill brush that I like to use, and I'm going to start with my royal blue. And I've just put an edge in here in the template just to suggest a tree line. You know, just create kind of an irregular edge that's, you know, got some variation in it. That's something like you might see on the tops of a tree line. So just try and create those kinds of edges. And I'm going to continue that all the way up here. And now I'm going to add a little water and soften that edge. Let that grade down a little lighter. I'm going to take it all the way down here. Okay. Now one thing I'm going to do too is I wanted to go a little darker in here, so I'm going to put another wash over top of this. I wanted this to be just a little darker. More clear water. That's a little bit more of what I wanted. And I'll leave this lighter here. So once again, I'm going to dry that, and I'm going to come in with some of these other trees that I have here. Okay, so that's dry. I'm going to take now, I'm going to add a little sap green to the royal blue to give me more of a blue green. And if I want to just neutralize that just a little, I'm going to add just a touch of alizarin crimson. Gray that down a little. Okay. So I've got a couple tall trees here, and I want these to feel like they're big trees that are kind of in the distance. They're going to get overlapped. They're not too far in the distance, but just a little bit set back from the smaller tree line that I'm going to put here. I don't want those to be the exact same height. Okay, now I want these to feel like they're just kind of getting lost in the snow. Some water. And maybe I'll put a third one in here. Not as high. Odd numbers are often better. Okay, now let me get a softer brush, some water, and just let that kind of come down. Okay, while I have this, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to paint this tree. Just painting this with a flat wash. Okay, so now, again, I want to dry that. I'm going to put a tree line in here of smaller trees, but if I do it now, they're just going to lose its definition, so I'm going to dry it. Okay, I could even stop there if I wanted. You know, this suggests some layering going on, but I'm going to put some smaller trees in front. So I don't want them to line straight in line with the ones above. I want to offset them so they don't get a kind of a visual tangent. So we'll just bring these trees in here. You know, I don't want these to all look the same. I don't want it to look like a picket fence. I want to vary the spacing, vary the heights, the widths, just try and keep it interesting. Let's see, how many am I going to put in here? I was going to go for a little bit more, but I don't think I need to. And you could put a line of trees that goes all the way across here. I'm going to let that one be a little softer. And I could pick up a tree over here, but I kind of like that light tone back there. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get just a bright red. Doesn't matter what you're using. This is Pyro Red. Paint my Christmas bulbs. They don't have to be red. They can be any color. I'll touch that with a tissue. And let's see. Let me give this a dry. Okay, now remember we put that masking fluid down there, so let's go ahead and we'll lift that off. Hopefully that gives us the suggestion of some snow. It does. And I might, just to complement that, take just a little bit of my royal blue, not too dark, but to kind of echo that texture. I'm going to just hit a little bit, put just a few middle value, repeat that texture a little bit with a middle value, and let's give that a dry. Okay, so that's dry. I'm going to take the tape off. You could go darker. I've kept it pretty much middle value, light to middle value. You could go darker. I've kept it pretty soft and delicate. Just take off. And now we have the border along here where the tape was. So just you know, a very kind of a soft, snowy scene with some trees and some snowflakes and a few kind of snow drifts. So I hope you enjoyed painting that holiday card.